Right, welcome back. The current FIFA Women's World Cup is featuring two Southern African nations, which is a big achievement for the region. Like Banyana Banyana, Zambia's Copper Queens have to recover from losing their first group game. Bruce Mwape's side were humbled 5-0 by Japan and need a positive result when they face Spain in a Group C match tomorrow in Auckland. Zambian journalist Calvin Chikenge has been following the progress of the team and joins us live now via Zoom. First of all, Calvin, thank you so much for your time. I think maybe the first question is, how big a moment is this for Zambian football?
Thank you so much for hosting me. Well, it is big for the country. Qualifying to the FIFA Women's World Cup alone is a huge achievement for our country and for the development of our game. Already we can see a lot of girls now looking up to the Copper Queens as role models. So it is really, really huge for the girls, regardless of the results that we've seen so far.
Just talking about those results, obviously that loss to Japan was a bit of a reality check. I mean, you had a very good build-up against Switzerland, and against Germany as well. Just what do you make of that game, given the build-up that the team did have?
I think it was expected. Personally, I'm super proud of the girls. I think the result was expected. They're debuting at the FIFA Women's World Cup, and it was obvious that their first game was always going to be difficult, but we could have done better. The girls could have done better. And we hope to see a different Zambia in their next match, which I believe will be a very interesting game. But in that game against Japan, the team could have done better, like I've said. But of course, it is their first time, and they should be excused for the blunders and everything that happened in that game.
What positives can you take away from that match? I know Barbara Banda was also asked the same thing. Just what can they take into the Spain match that they took away from Japan?
I think experience and also tactical discipline. They learned, like the coach said, it is a learning curve and it's not the end of the world. Obviously, the team learned a lot, picked up a lot of lessons from that game, and they will now know how to approach a big game like a FIFA Women's World Cup opening match. We saw this happening even at the Tokyo Olympics. The Copper Queens did not start very well, losing 10-0 if I've not mistaken, to the Netherlands at the Olympics. But in the second game and the third game, we saw a much improved Copper Queens side that saw Barbara Banda scoring back-to-back hat-tricks. So we might expect the same thing. We might expect the same thing at the World Cup. Barbara Banda might just come back and score another hat-trick. Who knows? So a lot of positives from that game. The girls tried their best, but of course it wasn't good enough, and we hope they will do better in their next game.
You talk about Barbara. Of course, there is another player there, Chanda, who is not at this World Cup anymore after illness ruled her out just before the opening match. Just how much of a loss is that? And also Hazel Nale's loss as well from the squad.
Yeah, to some extent, it has partially affected the team. As you may be aware, Chanda was the talisman at the 2022 Women's AFCON. She carried the team on her shoulders and was the top scorer in that tournament. That was in the absence of Rachel Kundananji and Barbara Banda, who are our top strikers now. So it is really a big loss for the team, and I believe she could have made a difference if she was there. But nonetheless, the team has to carry on and do without Chanda. Talking of Hazel Nale, the same thing. She's been one of the most experienced goalkeepers despite her age. She started playing for the senior team at a very young age, and she's going to be a very dependable goalkeeper. So it is indeed a massive loss for the team. But like I said, the players that are there have to carry on and do what Chanda or Hazel Nale should have done.
Right. Calvin, just, in today's press conference, there were questions asked about the allegations against Bruce Mwape. How much of that is a disturbance, do you think, or will be a disturbance, or has been even for the players leading up to the tournament as well?
I think it is really affecting the team, and I feel the media should give the team a break. We need to give a team a break and let them focus on the game. Let's talk about that after the game. It is really sad to see that the coach is being subjected to such questions, and it would have been better if we focused on the game and just allowed the team to focus on the game. As you may be aware, the allegations were raised sometime back in 2022, and since then there haven't been any verdict made, or we haven't heard anything about the allegations. So in my view, personally, I feel we should give the team a break and just allow them to play football. Let the world enjoy the Copper Queens for playing football and not what is being, portrayed out there.
Okay. And then maybe just final question. What is Zambian football doing right? I mean, we've seen your rise in the COSAFA Cup as well, in the Women's AFCON, and now you are at a World Cup for the first time. What is happening right that we must learn from in terms of Zambian football?
I think a lot has been done. In the last 5 years, we've seen the creation or the establishment of the Zambian Women's Super League. Although it's solely sponsored by the Football Association of Zambia, we've seen massive improvement. A lot of girls have gained a lot from the Super League, and now we have over 13, if I'm not mistaken, that are playing professional football outside the country. Some in Europe, the likes of Rachel Kundananji with the Copper Queens, plays in Spain, and she was the second highest scorer in that competition, scoring 25 goals in Spain. We have quite a number of clubs now in the country. Girls are playing for these clubs. We've seen Zambia winning the COSAFA Club Champions League, beating Mamelodi Sundowns last year. So there is something that is being done back home. Of course, the FA has done extremely well, and they deserve to be given a credit on that one by establishing the Zambian Super League. We hope it grows better. Of course, our women's football is still growing, and hopefully the corporate world will just come in and help the game grow further.
Right, thank you so much for your insights. That was Calvin Chikenge, Zambian journalist, just talking to us about the Copper Queens as they make their debut in the FIFA Women's World Cup. They do play Spain tomorrow morning at 9:30. That is